So it must have been around 92 or 1990 maybe that I went to Atlanta and I attended a Tage Frid seminar at Highland Hardware. And he taught this or showed us this technique for routing curves into panels of wood. And so I adapted his technique, his jig, for routing the curves in chair backs. A lot of people cut these with a bandsaw, and I'm not nuts about a bandsaw for this because you tend to get a little bit too much blade drifting, which I don't prefer to have. I like to have everything nice and uniform so that when I cut my joints, uh, everything could be done with one tool setup. Anyway, so I basically make these two rails, these curved rails, and then you put a couple of runners on the base of your router, and you ride those runners along your curved rails, and it allows you to make that curve over and over and over again. I used a half-inch router bit, which I would have not preferred to use, but it was the only thing that was long enough and really sharp. But it sure would have been quicker with a 1-inch bit. Um, and the rotation of your router bit tends to make your router want to drift over in that jig. So I used a little guide piece of wood with a couple of C-clamps, and it allows you to route out parallel sections of that chair back, which is pretty nice. So because you're taking out so much wood, about a 3/4 inch section of wood in the center of that curve and only about a 1/16 of an inch on each end of it. You want to do that in 2 passes. It's too much wood to remove in 1 pass. But here I am in the very last pass, and it was just a sliver of wood left. So I do it in 1 pass, full depth, and it will allow me to finish off this cut. And when you pop it out of the jig, you have a perfect curve, which you'll see in a second. I had drawn on the side of my board with a Sharpie just to see how accurate my curve was going to be, and you'll see it in a second. I'm just dead on my mark right there. So now I can flip my rails over to the convex rails. I can switch them out and do the back of that. So I hope this helps. Thanks to Tay for teaching us this. It's great.